Chantawashteyu Lakячótiyapi, Lakјótiyapi, Tipiziwin Tolman Lakјótiyapi na Iawaslaha Mataha, Hunkpapkhala Lakota na Wachina Dakota Hemacha. My name is Tipiziwin Tolman. I am currently a board member on the Lakota Language Consortium Board of Directors.
Lakјótiyapi, my name is FireThunder, and I'm the Deputy Director for the Lakota Language Consortium. Our beautiful Lakota language is a special gift from our Creator. The language has kept us who we are as Lakota people and has been a tool of strength and unity and healing for us all for thousands of years.
20 years ago, a group of elders on Pine Ridge decided that the Lakota language needed to be taught in a more effective way so that younger people could grow up hearing and experiencing the beauty and connection that the language brings to us all. These wonderful elders, the late Johnson Holyrock, Leonard Littlefinger, Robert Tukro, visionary thinkers for our Lakota people, believed that it was important to bring schools together and to develop language materials that could be shared and utilized in a cooperative manner. This was the beginning of the Lakota Language Consortium.
In 2002, this dream was supported by the Oglala Nation Education Coalition and the Oglala Sioux Tribe. Eventually, in 2004, the Lakota Language Consortium became an independent nonprofit organization. It was led by elders like Leonard Littlefinger, Johnson Holyrock, Richard Broken Nose, Buzzy Tulance, and by linguists and educators like David Rood, Jan Ulrich, and Will Maya. The dream of the organization was to bring schools together with curriculum of the highest quality and provide the resources that learners so much wanted to have to learn our beautiful language.
Over the last 20 years, the Lakota Language Consortium has been a leading advocate and provider of language learning materials and resources. The Lakota Language Consortium led the way with the development of textbooks in 2004 with the release of the Level 1 textbook. Schools like Wounded Knee School District, Lone Men School, and Porcupine School were some of the first schools to utilize them. The Lakota Language Consortium textbooks were designed to be sequenced and based on the latest language and teaching methodologies, utilizing total physical response, flashcards, and communicative methods of learning. They are also designed to be fun and interactive and reflect categories and interests that are familiar to our own Lakota people. In 2005, the Level 2 textbooks were released, and it was an important step utilizing vocabulary in our Lakota language previously learned in Level 1. It focused on the sound systems of our Lakota language and helped teach writing and reading and utilized interactive audio recordings to help learners with pronunciation. In 2010, the Level 3 textbook was released. The focus of the Level 3 textbooks was to help learners create phrases and sentences, helping to build Lakota language literacy. In 2012, the Level 4 textbook was released and featured illustrations and advanced pedagogical approaches in Lakota language learning. And finally, the Level 5 was released in 2014, which was an important next step for intermediate and advanced learners of the Lakota language. All of the materials were scaffolded so that learners could go through each and every textbook level and use it and learn in a progressive way. Reference materials are also an important part of the Lakota Language Consortium's work. In 2008, the Lakota Language Consortium released and published the new Lakota Dictionary. It was perhaps the first reliable and consistent corpus-based dictionary for the Lakota language. Over 300 Lakota speakers contributed to its creation. These elders felt it was important to leave a legacy of the language to our future generations. The second edition of the dictionary was published in 2011 and featured over 20,000 new entries. And finally, the third edition of the dictionary was released in 2022. All of these print dictionaries also have a compatible digital component, both available as an online dictionary, a standalone desktop version, as well as a mobile app. Thousands of these dictionaries have been distributed and downloaded, and today they form the cornerstone of the Lakota Language Revitalization movement. The dictionaries have helped learners build their vocabulary and use the vocabulary in effective ways through the use of example sentences and verb conjugation charts. The Lakota Language Consortium also released the Lakota Grammar Handbook in 2016, and it has been an important new resource for Lakota language learners. These reference materials have helped our Lakota communities create new materials, signage, and help create stability and consistency within our written language. The Lakota Language Consortium has also released numerous other kinds of materials: picture books, coloring books, puzzle books, posters, and other kinds of readers, all designed to help promote and use the Lakota language and create effective teaching and learning in the classroom. The use of technology has always been an important part of the Lakota Language Consortium's work. Some of the first apps for Lakota were developed by the Lakota Language Consortium, including the Vocab Builder in 2014, the digital keyboard, and the media player. In 2019, the Lakota Language Consortium released the first Lakota language e-learning platform called Lakļótiyapi, and it has been an important tool for learners ever since. Thousands of students use it to help build vocabulary and create sentences to expand their learning.
The LLC has always believed that other resources were important for our community and for the learners. That learners needed something for every stage of learning. That there needed to be something for everybody. So the LLC developed children's song CDs that could be sung at immersion schools, kindergartens, and early elementary, as well as at home. In 2011, in cooperation with the Standing Rock Sioux Tribe, the LLC developed a cartoon series called The Berenstein Bears, which 20 episodes were recorded and broadcasted and are now available for learners on YouTube.
Directors of the Lakota Language Consortium say it would be the first Native American cartoon series ever.
A diversity of other projects have also been developed by LLC, including 2 plays based on traditional Lakota stories. These were fun ways that learners and teachers could utilize the language in an interactive way. In 2014, the LLC helped with the production of a documentary about the Lakota Language Revitalization movement called Rising Voices. This film was shot across Lakota country in Pine Ridge, Standing Rock, and Cheyenne River, and it broadcasted nationally.
There's nothing to compare it to the feeling of being Lakota in Lakota country, speaking Lakota.
The Lakota Language Consortium was never just about creating the materials. It was about creating a community of learners and teachers and helping the teachers to improve their teaching skills, to help professionalize the field. LLC's first trainings began in 2005 in places like the Wounded Knee District School and Red Cloud School. Eventually, by 2007, the trainings started taking place in Standing Rock, at the Standing Rock Community School. These smaller trainings eventually led to a larger summer training that became known as the Lakota Summer Institute. The first one was held in 2007 at Sitting Bull College. LLC continued to work with Standing Rock on the Summer Institutes between 2007 and 2017. Later, Summer Institutes took place at the University of North Dakota and Oglala Lakota College, as well as other places. The Summer Institutes were initially designed for teachers, but they expanded to also become a place for learners. They welcomed learners to come and learn the basics about the language in an intensive 3-week setting. The Summer Institute was an important way to bring people together, and it served as a catalyst for the movement, a way to reinforce the positivity and love for the language in a powerful and meaningful way.
The Lakota Language Consortium continues to support teachers beyond the Summer Institute. In other ways, it has helped create 3 teacher training programs over the years through grants supported by the Department of Education, in places such as University of South Dakota, Sitting Bull College, and the University of North Dakota, where students could learn about the latest teaching and learning methodologies, as well as linguistics for our Lakota language and grammar.
The LLC developed a new program for supporting learners as well. In 2016, it launched the Language Weekend program, where learners could come to a venue like a hotel or a school, and over the course of 2 days of intensive training, really feel like the language was learnable. The goal of the Language Weekend program was to help light a spark in young adult learners and give them the hope that the language is indeed learnable and get many people started on their language learning journeys together.
In the last 20 years, the Lakota Language Consortium has helped solidify the foundation for Lakota language, but this is still only the beginning, and there is still so much more work to do. The window of opportunity that we have to work with our elder fluent speakers is quickly closing. Our speakers are becoming fewer and far between, and so it is up to each and every one of us to continue to do this work and create new speakers of our language. Our elders have spent their time and energy ensuring that we had these materials and resources to learn our Lakota language.
The LLC hopes for the day that the language is being utilized once again as a first language, but we are many years off from that still. Our hope is that in the next 20 years, learners can continue to come together in ways to expand the use of the language. This is a critical time for our beautiful language, and we need to continue to do this in a good way, in a Lakota way, one that honors the legacy of our ancestors, and one where Lakota language is a tool of healing and hope for our people.